Hello, hello. Welcome to this Friday's edition of Crystal's Coaching Connections. I am so happy to be here. It is Friday. The sun is out in Montreal here. We're like on day 5 of a heat wave. I hope you are all staying fresh. I hope you are all staying happy. It's been a crazy week, and I have been in full creativity mode. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that later. But I had a flash this week, and I was thinking about this podcast, and obviously, I love having guests on the podcast. That's never going to go away. But I realized that there was so much to say, that I had so much to say. And part of the reason why I do this is to allow people the opportunity to listen in and learn and take in whatever it is that they need to take in for themselves. And I figured that what better opportunity after last week to come to this platform with my podcast and give us the opportunity to have those conversations sometimes during the month. So I don't know what the strategy is going to look like. I don't know what what's going to happen. I don't know whether or not we're going to have 2 podcasts a month that are going to be just conversations like this, or if it's going to be one. I'm not sure yet. But today, I wanted to have a very, very deep conversation about what the heck is personal development anyway. And the reason why I wanted to have that conversation was because I was faced with this question that I asked actually in a workshop of mine about a month and a half ago. And I was in a group of people. We were about 30 people, and we were having the conversation around leadership and, who you are and how you lead. And the question that I asked the group of people that I was with was, do you have any idea what personal development is? And in the group of 30 people, there was maybe one person that came back and said, yes, they knew what personal development was. And now we're talking about a group of people, we're talking about like 30 people in this room, all ages. We're talking from early 20s to late 40s, maybe even early 50s. And I thought that was really interesting because in my world, it's personal development has been the thing that has been, propelling me through my own personal life. And it's also part of what I teach. And so I thought it was interesting that in a group of 30 people, there was maybe one person that really could admit and stand up to the crowd and say, I know what personal development is. And the other 29 people were like, I've never really heard of it. And when I have heard of it, I didn't really quite understand what it was. And so I thought it was a really good place to start because, in all of these conversations that I've been having with the podcast, in conversations that I've been having with my clients, in conversations that I've had with people who've come on discovery calls with me, they're searching for something. They're searching for something that they've never actually knew existed. And I thought that was interesting. But I also realized that I've come to a place where personal development has been my number one thing in my life for, I would say, probably at least the last 6 years. And even prior to that, it was something that I had sort of dabbled in. But the difference between what I was doing back then and what I'm doing today, there's a line in it. So I want to kind of talk a little bit about my story, and some of the things that I had gone through, and what brought me to personal development. So for most of you might know, I've been a coach now for almost 5 years. I have actually been doing this work pretty much most of my life when it came to any of the leadership roles that I had been taken on. And I started my career in the bank. I was 23 years old. I was learning. I was, still didn't really know who I was and what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't know, what career I was going to choose. I was dabbling in all kinds of things. And I'm not going to bring you into all of the nitty-gritty details. But one of the things that I learned at the bank was professional development. I learned a lot about learning how to lead other people. I learned a lot about learning the tools to the current trade that I was doing. So, in the banking industry, I was in a leadership role. And so I did a lot of leadership trainings. I learned a lot about teaching people, about the psychology of teaching people, about learning how to get people onto your side and all kinds of things. And this was really incredible. This was a journey that I don't think that I could have taken any less serious. It was really, really important, but it was all about my professional development. And it was all about how I was going to be able to lead other people throughout their lives and to basically take my career to the next level and how to bring that career, into a thriving life. Now, here's the thing. When you're really looking at all of that, that's great. That's really, really important. But the difference is that everything that you're doing when it comes to professional development has to do with others. It has to do with other people. It has to do with what other people, how they respond to you. It has nothing to do with who you are. Now, going back to this story, I spent 15 years working in the bank, and I can tell you that what I learned there was incredible. I learned so much about the industry. I learned so much about so many different things. But the one thing that I didn't learn is about who I am and what I do and what I'm passionate about and what I love, who I was at the core of all of that. And so today, I want to show you that there's two different sides of things. There's a very important part of our life that relies on professional development. And it's super important because if we want to be successful, there are things that we need to do in order to be successful. And that's where professional development comes in. The other hand is personal development. Personal development is about leading yourself, not leading others. Professional development is all about leading others and leading yourself to be able to lead others. This is what I truly believe. Now, whether it's the truth of what's written in the documents, what's written in the dictionary about what the difference between personal development is and professional development is, I truly see the two as one is about leading yourself and the other is about leading others. We often don't think about leading ourselves. And so this is kind of where that conversation is going. Um, Diving into yourself, what does that look like? What does that mean? And what 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 part and what time in your life is the right time to start doing that? And it's interesting because I've had clients as young as 18 years old work with me, and I've had clients as old as I think 68 or 69 work with me. The fun thing about personal development is that it never stops. It absolutely never stops. Once you start, you are literally on a path. I don't know. It's a path to basically your own enlightenment. It's a path to your own greatness. The greatness that you are able to know inside of yourself without the external coming in to tell you what's right and what is wrong. And this is something that we all need. When we're in our careers, and I'm not going to lie, like even in my career, I have clients that tell me every day that they love what I do. I have people telling me when I get off of a podcast like this, telling me just how incredible the podcast was and how much it impacted them. But if I come to the table with that being the only thing that I'm relying on for uh I guess validation, for validation, when it doesn't come, what happens? We believe that we're less than, that we're not capable of, that we're waiting for that validation. And so bringing it back to personal development is really knowing deep down inside of yourself what you can do, how you can do it, how incredible that you can be. And it has nothing to do with being overly confident or egotistical or any of that. But there is a part of ourselves that we really need to learn how to build that personal ego, that personal thing that says inside of yourself that you are made for fucking greatness. Excuse my French, but you are made for greatness. And so the word that I would associate with personal development is you. That's what personal development is. It's you. It's you bringing yourself to the table. It's you putting yourself first. It's you going inward into seeing how you can be and how great you can be, how you can hold yourself back, how you can limit yourself. All of these things, that's all about you. I learned for many years of my life, I relied on, my education being something that was super important to me because I didn't have the formal education. And that took away a lot of my own inner confidence because I didn't believe that I had what it took to do the things that I wanted to do because the outside was telling me that in order to be able to do it, I had to have XYZ. I always knew that I was strong and that I was capable, but I had no idea. I spent so many years relying on external forces to be able to tell me that I was capable of doing something until it didn't work anymore. Until it was not feasible anymore for me to live like that. Now, what do you do when you are starting this personal development journey, and why is it so important? So again, going back to your age, I don't care who you are listening to this right now. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you've been taught that paradigm that says that you're too old to learn new tricks, you're too old to learn new things, that you are, that you're just not capable because that's just how it's been. I want you to break down that paradigm. I want you to break down the things that you've been taught because it's a societal box that we've been put in that has told us that we are basically incapable of change, that we are incapable of stepping up to that next level. And it's not for anything. It's actually really important. I'm just going to set it out there. Structure is very important. Society does need to have a structure to be able to hold it into place. That's a given. But what happens here is that when we put ourselves into that finite box, is that we limit ourselves to the capacity. And so I don't want to take away the box. I want to be able to find moments that we're able to step outside of the box and create new boxes or create an extension of that box. Make that box bigger than what it is currently today. That box can be so immense. It does not have to only contain one thing. We are multi-passionate. We are multi-tactical. We are multifaceted. I used that word this morning with a client, and she just felt the power of it because that's how she'd been feeling her whole life, but she felt stifled in the box that she had been put in. And so in this journey of personal development, there are a few things that I want us to think about doing. Step one, control. I want you to step outside of that box of what life has been telling you. And I want you to step into the idea that the only thing that you can control is you. Only you. Nobody else. There is absolutely nobody else that you can control. And so when you are stepping into this new phase of your life, or maybe it's a phase that you've been in the process of exploring, I want you to step into that and say to yourself, hey, I can only control me. I can only control my response. When we talk about stress, there's a famous quote that says, it's not the stress that kills you, it's your response to it that does. And we have a choice here today, right now, when you're listening to this. If you're listening to the replay, comment replay. If you're listening to this live, drop a 1 in the chat box, okay? Tell me that you're here. You have an opportunity right now to make a choice. Realize that you're the only person that you can control. You can't control your husband. You can't control your friends. You can't control any of the external circumstances. Only you can control you. And so what are you going to do? What is your next step going to be? Second thing that you need to do is you need to decide that you're the most important. Now, This might go against all of the grains of everything that you have ever been taught because, whether you're a parent or you're a friend, you're spending most of your time giving to other people. Now, that is important. I am not going to take that away, and I'm going to be the first person to tell you that I give myself at every single opportunity that I have to give. I'm giving right now. Does that mean that it's making me any less important? No, because I take care of myself. I spend time with myself. I heal myself. I allow myself. I don't judge myself. I congratulate myself. I give myself that pat on the back. Those are the things that fill me up in order to be able to fill other people up. Now, if you're not doing that, thank you. I got a heart. Yes, Ada, I love that. I got a 1 up there. So again, you are the most important person in your freaking life. The most important person in your life. And in order for you to be able to take care of all of those people that are around you, you need to make that decision right here, right now, that you are going to take care of you first. And I don't know what that looks like for you. It could look like a whole bunch of different things. But I want you to think about that. I want you to get off of this call later, and I want you to take a moment maybe later today or tomorrow or this weekend, or go back and listen to the replay. And I want you to think about the things that I'm talking about today. How are you going to put yourself first? Is there a small moment that you can put yourself first so that you can be able to give to others? Okay. So step 1 is realize that you are the only person you can control. Step 2 is realizing that you are the most important. And step 3 is choosing yourself and deciding today that you are going to choose yourself to be able to step into that world of personal development, whatever that looks like for you. It could mean picking up a book on personal development. It could be meaning listening to more podcasts on personal development. It could mean hopping on a discovery call, or with a coach or with a therapist or with a friend, somebody that you trust, to have these conversations, to maybe start reflecting on these questions a little bit more. Because when you don't question yourself, you just allow yourself to stay in the box. You just allow yourself to stay where you are. And I know that deep down inside, if you're watching this now, or you're watching in the replay, or you ever been thinking about this, you want more for yourself. You believe that there's more for yourself, that you have a mission, that you have a purpose. And all 3 of these things, by doing all 3 of these things, it's going to lead you closer and closer to your purpose, to your passion, to the life that you truly want to live. And that doesn't mean changing your job or changing your life completely. That just means that you are bringing yourself one step closer to your own version of enlightenment. Your version looks different than mine. My purpose will be different than yours. But essentially, at the end of the day, it all comes down from inside of you. You need to find it inside of you. So, with that being said, okay, we're 18 minutes in. I think this was a great conversation so far. With that being said, I have some very, very exciting news. I am launching actually a masterclass, and it's all about choice. I'm launching a masterclass, guys. Masterclass. It's coming up, and I am going to be launching it here live right now. It's the first thing that I'm talking about. I haven't launched it to anybody. I've been in creation mode all week. I've been thinking about this for months. I have been dreaming up a way that I can bring a masterclass to anybody who is interested in starting their journey. And I think that this is where it is. And so I'm just going to pull it up here. I don't think I can share my screen with this, but I've called it Empower Your Choice. It's unlocking the freedom to change, to be able to take that first step. And even cooler than that, it is at an introductory price of $9.99. That is ridiculous. That is crazy. It's going to be an hour-and-a-half conversation. We're going to be meeting together on Zoom. It's going to be intimate. It's going to be a conversation, actual back and forth conversation. Right now, we're in a conversation where I'm just talking to the internet, and I'm having a great time doing it. I don't know how I do this, actually, just talking to the internet. But we're going to be in a Zoom together, and we're going to be having a conversation all about choice. I am going to be unlocking the way to start stepping into your choice, the power that you need to have inside of yourself, whether it's that personal power that you have to pull from within yourself to be able to elevate it to a level where you're going to be able to start stepping into who it is that you know that you desire to be, and that you just don't know how to get there. That's the question, right? Like, what are the steps that we take to get there? I did all of those steps. And so I'm here and I'm going to teach you some of the things that I've learned on how to bring yourself to that next level. And so we're going to be getting together. Actually, the date is set. It's on August 19th. Stay tuned. I'm going to be posting the links to this masterclass, and the early bird pricing is only going to be good until Sunday. This Sunday, which is August 4th, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, we're the 2nd? Yeah, we're the 2nd. So it'll be going to the 4th. We only have 2.5 days to get in your early bird pricing, and then the price is going to be going up. I haven't decided yet what the price is going to be because the value of this actual masterclass is phenomenal, and I haven't been able to set up on a price that it's going to be for regular price. So you're going to have literally until Sunday at 5 p.m. to jump into this masterclass at $9.99. And then we're going to be together on the 19th, and we're going to do an incredible workshop together and a masterclass that is going to be beyond what we could possibly be doing over here. So that is it for me right now. I want to thank you for joining me. I see that I have anywhere between 5 and 10 people that are watching me live today. I see Ada's here. I haven't seen any other comments, so I don't know who else is here, but I want you to feel free to drop comments in, to tell me that you're here, to tell me that you enjoyed our conversation. I see your like, Ada. Yay, I see you. I see you're here. I want you to tell me what your thoughts are on these 3 things that we talked about today. The 3 steps. 1, realizing that you're the only person that you can control. Number 2, realizing that you are the most important person. I love you, Brianna. And 3, making a choice today that you are going to be on this next step, that you are going to be on your journey to fulfilling yourself. And again, it's a forever journey, guys, forever journey. You don't just wake up one morning and say, hey, I'm going to do personal development. No, you wake up one morning and you say, this is going to be my life. I am going to learn, and I am going to choose, and I am going to change, and I am going to learn about myself every single day, the way that we respond to life, the way that our triggers trigger us. We are going to learn every single freaking day together. I love you. I'm going to pop the link to the program in my comments. I am going to listen to your feedback. I am going to listen to your comments. So please make sure that you let me know when you've had a chance to watch the replay, #replay, and have an incredible day. I love you all to bits. Have an incredible one. Bye, everyone.